Did you get out of your crypto?
I don't talk about my crypto holdings. But crypto transitioned. Bitcoin transitioned from being this bucket to being this bucket. So
You think?
yeah.
Volatility would suggest otherwise, no?
Yeah, but I think the reality is that Bitcoin, for the most part, at this point, is there's a structural failing in Bitcoin that I think people will need to come and wrap their heads around. The structural failing is that it is not. So if you think about like what is the value maximizing function right now for a crypto asset to be broadly adopted, it needs to have the features that allow a central bank to adopt it. And there are two things that it lacks. One is fungibility and two is privacy. And so Bitcoin fails on those two dimensions. So it can never be a structural holding of a central bank.
Mm-hmm.
And that simple thing will keep it in the realm of ETFs and humans. And
does gold satisfy those conditions?
Yeah.
Fungibility, but not easily.
Both. You have no idea how much the Bank of China owns. You don't know how many ounces they own. You don't know how many ounces I own. When there's a public ledger that says this address has this much, and you can't really trade it because you know the history and the provenance of that exact token. It's been used to buy this. It was transacted over here. It went to this wallet. That lack of fungibility and privacy is a huge deterrent for broad structural adoption. That's what you need to then add another 10x of market cap. So is there room for a different crypto asset that solves for the privacy and fungibility? Yeah. And are there projects right now? Yes, but they're very small scale. There's huge issues with them. Those are even more volatile. So Bitcoin's interesting.
I think of it each time I think of Bitcoin exchanges and stable coins. I'm like, why have the use case of moving away from central bank and then have Tether or USDT, something which is backed by the US dollar, or for an exchange? Why decentralize if you have to centralize again on a crypto exchange? Inherently, fundamentally, I don't get that argument.
Yeah, I'm not sure I understand the argument either, to be honest. But I believe in stablecoins. I think those are like a structural innovation that makes a lot of sense. It decreases friction and it allows transaction rails to kind of proliferate. I love that.
With you. If you're trying to like bring efficiency into bank transfers and Swift is failing and all of that, with you 100%. But why it should be backed by a currency which is regulated by a central bank, I don't know.
Well, I think that that's going to just be a philosophical decision at some point. You'll have gold-backed stablecoins. You'll have all these other, real-world asset-backed stablecoins.